Hey Airheads! Today's episode of Aficionados Internet Radio is brought to you by Audible.com. If you sign up today, you can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial if you go to audibletrial.com/aficionadoschris. With over 150,000 titles for your iPhone, Kindle, MP3 player, and my personal preference, the Android, you can choose from many titles out there. My personal recommendation would be The Disaster Artist by Greg Sestero. Once again, if you want a free audiobook and a free 30-day trial at audible.com, go to audibletrial.com/aficionadoschris. The link will be in the description. Now, let's start the show.
Hey Airheads, Aficionados Chris here. You're listening to Aficionados Internet Radio. Aficionados Chris.
Hey everybody, Aficionados Chris here. Today I have a very special guest that some of you may or may not know if you're familiar with a lot of video game critics, preferably in the English side of things. Today on Aficionados Internet Radio, we have who some of you might know simply as Rosie or Caddicarus' sister or what have you, but did you know that she actually has her own YouTube channel where she also does video game reviews? Currently, she's at about 2.5 thousand subscribers on the channel, and we have her here today. Welcome, Rosie Caddick, aka Professor Juice. How are you doing?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you all doing? How are you getting on?
I think everyone's getting along great, and hopefully there are people clicking on this going, oh, Caddicarus' sister, I like her, she's cute and funny. I didn't know she had a YouTube channel.
Or they'll be like, oh, she's that idiot on the screen who pulls faces,
or
but she's also Caddicarus' sister.
Or in most comments like, oh, she's hot. Considering all those troll comments. I remember a time where you couldn't watch a Caddicarus video without a comment like that being the top voted comment.
I know, I remember once there was a comment and someone said, I really like, this was the first time I was in one of his videos, someone said, I really like your sister, and then underneath someone put, it's the tits, isn't it? And I put it as my cover photo on Facebook.
Take what you can get, I suppose.
I was like, wow, okay, that's a keeper.
I'm so flattered. They love my bosom.
Great, that's the plus of my day.
But I think the first thing that a lot of people probably want to know, because a lot of people are probably like, oh, I didn't know she had a YouTube channel, I'm subscribing right now. But I think the biggest thing is what inspired you to start doing video game reviews in the first place on YouTube? Was it your brother or an outside source? What was it?
Well, it's kind of a mix of everything. I mean, before my brother even started, I've always wanted to... Well, actually, I say that. When my brother first started doing this sort of stuff, back when he was at school, he studied media studies, and through that he was doing loads of like school projects, like we had to do a teen opening and police procedurals, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
And I was watching him, and I thought, oh my god, this is so cool! I'd love to do something like this. So I also watch YouTube an awful lot. Like I watch like JonTron, PPG, Project, the whole bunch, and I always thought, oh my god, it would be so awesome to do something like this as well. And then he started his YouTube stuff back when he had very little subscribers, doing all of his little sketches. And I was always watching him, and I was always helping him out, and I was always like, oh, how did you do that? How's it going? This, that, and the other. And then when it came to me studying, I finally had the opportunity to pick media studies as a subject. And so I was doing because the subject had the same exams and stuff. So I got to do my own teen films, I got to do my own police procedurals with a great group of people, and then through that I just found an absolute love for it. I put my heart into every single project I made, and then from that I thought, yeah, I want to keep this going, I want to keep on making all these videos and different creative products and things. So I finished school, yada yada, that was all good, and I decided I was going to go on a gap year from university. So that means, for those who don't I take a year off before I go and study to the next level. And in that gap year I thought, great, because I'm going to study media. Well, it depends which path I take, whether I go for this job or uni. But I thought, great, this year I can keep my skills up with editing, I can have all the time to work on these videos, this is my chance, I can't let it go. So, yeah, I just went on and did it. I had no intentions of being anything big with it. I just wanted to have fun with it. Because I always say, I'm always like, oh, because I believe that if you don't have fun making it, the audience won't have fun watching it. And that's something I really want, like, because I always try and have as much fun as I can with each of my videos, and I hope it shows.
Oh, I think it does.
And thank you. And like with each of these projects, I'm always just like, oh, my laptop went beep for some reason. Sorry about that.
It's angry at your answer.
It's angry at me.
It's like, hey, I help just as much as you.
Don't, because I had a little red laptop where I used in my cheesy video, and the bloody thing, like, it stopped charging and everything, so then I had to buy myself a new laptop, and now I've got this new, more powerful one. Editing's even more exciting.
Heck yes.
Because I'm like, wow, I can do things better. Look at this.
I love that because you said in there that essentially the best advice you could give to people is that you have to enjoy what you're doing. Because a lot of people, I think, go into the video criticism world because they want to be popular. Like they look at someone like JonTron, he's got 1 million subscribers, like, oh, I want that. But it's like, well, no, JonTron just happens to have 1 million subscribers. He likes what he's doing. He's having fun with what he's doing. You have to have a genuine love for, you have to have a passion for your projects, because it certainly translates to people watching, because if they see you having fun, they start having fun. It's kind of like that laughter is contagious. If you see someone else laughing, then you start laughing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I love it because, like, every time my brother used to do his videos before I even, like, started doing all this, he hated watching me watch his videos when he first ever did them to check them.
A bit like a self-deprecative of his own work.
Yeah, but I understand him completely now. I always feel so nervous when I see other people watching my stuff or like reference or like talking to me about it. But and then like he always wanted to see how my reactions were. So like I plugged myself in, he wouldn't hear it. He just wanted to see my reactions mainly, I think.
Yeah. So it's like a test audience to make sure what he was doing was entertaining to another person.
Yeah, definitely. But so you want to have as much fun with it, but you also like you want to like aim to please your audience. So for example, I could be having a blast with a video, like I could walk down the street in a really happy way, but then to an audience it could be like, this is really boring, I don't want to watch her walk down a street, whereas I could be there having a blast. So it's like got levels, like, so like I always aim to have as much fun as I can with each of my products, but also like aim to please, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I want to keep everyone happy, everyone to have a good time. That's all my videos. I'm just mainly like, have a good time, relax, have fun, have a laugh.
Well, see, because I actually have a similar thing, is that because my parents actually watch my stuff, and sometimes I don't even know they're doing it. I can just, like, walk in, and they're on a laptop watching it, and I have to plug my ears because I hate the sound of my own voice back to me.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like, my parents, like, they don't understand the whole shenanigans. My mum thinks it's so weird how me and my brother both like the same things, like making videos and games. But the only one I have shown her was my Last of Us sketch.
Yes.
That's because the people who I do my little juicelets with, like, she knows them as well, and we're all chums. So she's like, and we took a whole day doing that. She was like, oh, how was your day? This, that, and the other. So I showed her the results. And I could do that because that was all in, like, mime. All you could hear was the music in the background. But even seeing her reaction, it made me happy at the same time. So I was like, yay, everyone's having fun, I think.
Because, like, with my biggest problem is, because I guess if I'm going to make the comparison, kind of like Caddy, is that with my reviews, I put some, like, skits in there as well. I have a harder time listening to the actual review portion, because to me it's like, oh, my voice is so dull. Who listens to this crap? I'm terrible at this. But everyone else is like, oh, I loved your review. But the skits, I kind of have to force myself to watch, because I think much like you, I'm my own team. I edit everything, I direct everything, I write everything.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to force yourself to get used to your personal imperfections.
I remember that. Oh my god, when I look back on even videos today, like when I'm doing my let's say live shots, I always watch them back and think, well, like when I'm talking seriously, I'm like, oh my god, my arms are moving all over the place. Why am I doing that?
Because you're so energetic.
Yeah, probably.
You're passionate about what you love.
So I flay my arms everywhere. But and then like when the only time I feel happy with myself doing live is when I act stupid.
So when you make a complete fool of yourself, it's like, I'm doing God's work.
Oh yeah, I've always been like that. Like I can be in any situation, and then I'm always the one who would try and be like, oh, so guys, how about that sandwich over there or something? I'll always be the one to goof around. Because I feel most comfortable being an idiot.
There's an inspirational quote for you.
Feel most better being an idiot. But like even, but like even with my voiceover stuff, like when I do my review things, I'm like, oh my god, I said that. Like in my Loco Roco review I just did, I say species or species. I don't know how I even say it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so weird. But if I went species or like species, I would have been fine with it.
Take pride in your mistakes by exaggerating them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what don't like. Well, I do that a lot in my videos anyway. Like whenever I make a mistake, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep it in.
I did. I love because like in the Loco Roco, you deliberately left in parts you just walk off camera to get something.
That was a pure accident. Every mistake I ever made, like in my Phoenix Wright review, I forgot the DS game. I just thought. I remember I was on the camera and I thought, shit, I forgot the game, so I went to get it. Loco Roco, I had my PS2 magazine on my bed, but I forgot to have it in my hand, and I was like, oh god damn it, and then oh god, I just keep on forgetting.
Well,
like,
I mean,
props.
like with people like JonTron who like set this whole new standard is that like imperfections kind of add a second joke. Because I remember this bit he did, I think it was in the Nightshade review, where you can actually hear him after he says a joke saying, oh, geez, cut that, just cut, and it just cuts to the next joke. And it's like, did they leave a blooper in there? I mean, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, there's this whole new standard where a lot of the, whether it be video game or movie critics, what have you, is that there seems to be this pride in keeping the imperfections for the sake of humor.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. It's like he also did that again. I think when he what was it? His clock tower when he had candy corn and then he threw it up and
Yeah,
just ended up
he just
laughing.
starts laughing afterwards. Like,
Yeah,
it was probably the best take they had, so they kept it. I don't think anyone could do that without laughing. And like, I think that was probably the best take they had on hand.
Yeah, probably. But like, I like in this like in a weird way. I kind of did that with my Bayonetta one as well. I feel like I'm just talking about all my videos. This is so weird.
Well, it's,
but, like,
it's
in
advertising, free promotion. Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, it's the whole point. But in my Bayonetta video, when I keep on getting punched in the face,
Yeah.
we did that. So like we were sweating by the end of that of how many punches we did, and I think the best one was when I genuinely got punched in the face, and that was when Liam, my amazing team, and like Liam just went, I made contact, and we all just like. And
I
was just
actually
like,
I thought that was just part of the joke because I couldn't tell if that was a real punch or not.
no, that was he proper chinned me.
I mean, like when you have just a row of faux stage punches and then you just have the one singular, oh shit, I just knocked you in the face.
That's the thing though, because we thought, oh my god, these look so fake, but it's the best we can do anyway. So we
Well,
just
that's part of the
doing it.
humor is how I mean, James Rolfe did that with the Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle thing. Is that
Oh yeah.
I've always stood by, like, when I have people, help with some of my videos if I need a visual effect or something that I'm not capable of doing. I have this one guy named Dylan who does CGI for me when I need it. And he always comes to me, he's like, does this look good? Does this look good? I say, no, make it shittier. Because to me, the shittier it is, the funnier it is. Because the more low budget it looks, the funnier it is to me. And kind of going back with that whole, you have to have fun. If I don't think the thing I'm making isn't funny, then neither will my audience. And
Oh no, I completely agree with that.
well, see, there you go, everyone listening. If you want to get into
Well, no,
YouTube
it's like
criticism,
like, do you know the comedians Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer?
I'm going to assume they're English. They're probably like
Yeah,
the
well,
only thing I did.
Yeah, they're like
the most
English
recent,
comedians.
the,
And,
the most
they're-
recent English thing that I know of, and this is how terrible I am, is just Mrs. Brown's Boys. Like that's how out of touch I am with English entertainment. I don't know who's hip. I don't know who's popular
That's the
nowadays.
kids.
Who's
that
hip with the
poor
English? Who's up hip with the chavs?
Yeah, well, I'm well into that, mate. I can give you all the best rappers and all the best superstars, man.
I bet you can.
Just get me my contacts, bro, and I'm there, mate.
Oh, yes, but do tell me of these comedians.
Oh yeah, well, Vic Reeves, like, they are massive, like, really silly slapstick comedy. And so, for example, they'll get, like, a frying pan. They're the type of guys who get a frying pan, you hit them on the head, and you have the really boing, like, the cartoony, like, frying pan sound effect.
So like a Tom and Jerry sort of thing.
Yeah, they're really Tom and Jerry, and, like, it's so cheesy and, like, cheesy. It's just hilarious. So it's like humor like that really gets to me, and that's why I always have my punch sound effect in every video I do so far.
So, like, a big fan of slapstick, you say?
Yeah, I love
Slapstick is
slapstick.
Three Stooges was my crowning comedic achievement when I was a kid. I think it's why I do some of the stuff I do. That and the Muppets, because I
Oh, the
have a
Muppets.
Muppet in my videos nowadays. I have a Muppet
No,
that looks like me. That's how crazy I am.
oh my god, I want a Muppet that looks like me.
Well, you could. There's tons of manufacturers in England. In fact, surprisingly, most of them are in England. So there you go.
Right, I'm gonna get them because I am such a huge Muppet fan.
Well, who everyone should be, I would think. Why are there
No,
so many songs about rainbows?
I can't do any pop. Oh, can I? No, I don't think I. I'll try and do a Miss Piggy. I'll be like, Kermit. That was terrible. What was that?
Muppet voices are hard. A lot of people like always say, "Oh, I can do a great Kermit," and then they do it to me. It's like, "What are you in Tennessee?"
Or Kermit the Frog. No, I
Kermit
can't
has a
do Kermit.
twang to his voice. Yeah, I gotta go up me now when you do it. It's more to yeah, impressions. Now we're on to the impressions. This is weird. I've gone completely off track. You do video game reviews. Back to that. I think one thing I know because you mentioned that you and Caddy had similar tastes growing up, which I think some people would envy the fact that they have a sibling that likes to an extent the same things they do. So uh, going with Caddy stuff, what were some of your favorite games growing up?
Oh god. Well,
Oh crap!
me
I had
and
to make her
Jake.
think.
You had to make a think. Oh my god. Well, okay. When I grew up, we only had PlayStation. The first Nintendo thing I ever got was the Nintendo DS that I got when it was first released. But my favorite games growing up so the Jungle Book Groove Party.
I figured
I
that'd be
have
on there.
I have a deep and passionate emotional love for that game. That sounds really bad. Don't take that the wrong way. Um, Crash Bandicoot 3, I loved that growing up. Spyro 3, Tomb Raider. Lara Croft has always been one of my role models in life. Like when I was a kid, I always aspired to be her.
And now there's
Like
going to be a
I'd go
bunch
out.
of fan art of you mocked up to look like Lara Croft. Now that you've said
Oh,
that.
that. Now I've said, but no, like seriously, when I was a kid, I used to like go out and look for clothes that looked identical to her. Like I remember once I got like there, you know how in the first she's in the mansion and she's wearing her gym clothes.
Yeah.
Like I remember once I brought a swimsuit top because that looked so much like it, and I just thought, yeah, I'm Lara Croft now.
I remember when I
Look
was a
at
kid
me
that
go.
like the Lara Croft games were semi-controversial. It's like, oh, she's over-sexualized. But it's like, wait, there's girls out there that are aspiring to be like Lara Croft because she's basically a female Indiana Jones. She's
Yeah,
smart,
exactly.
she's adventurous, and she doesn't need a man.
Yeah, no, like when I was a kid, I never thought. When I was like 7, I was never like, ah, no, I don't want to be like her. She's too much of a sex lady. I always saw her as a strong woman, like an Indiana Jones, and I've always like wanted to have her sense of adventure and toughness. But what other games were there? Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I've never actually played those games.
Oh my god, I
I
played
felt
those
like I
games
missed a
when.
whole like because Disney's like a big topic on my channel. Everyone says, "Have you ever played? Are you excited for the new Kingdom Hearts?" I've never played them. I just kind of
Oh,
missed a whole generation.
because of Disney, like, because I am a huge fan of Disney. Like, I love all things Disney. And when I was younger, and I remember I was in a Woolworths, but they've like pretty much closed down now in the UK. They're like a store. They're like a store. Good
They're a
point.
store. They're a store in England. Everyone like
Yeah,
Poundland.
but yeah, like Pout. Yeah, and like I saw Kingdom Hearts first on the shelf, and I picked it up because I was like, oh, is that Mickey Mouse on the cover? And I picked it up and I saw there was like Nightmare Before Christmas, which was my favorite film ever, and all sorts. And I was like, oh my god! Like I went crazy, and I got them both for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I got them both for a birthday one year, and it was the best time of my life for a while.
Nightmare Before Christmas is actually my favorite animated film of all time.
Oh yeah, no, same. I watched that. I used to watch it 3 times a day religiously.
I have it. I have a too much of a love for it. I actually have a stop motion puppet in my likeness because we're doing a review this
Oh
Christmas.
my god.
Yes, I spent $400
Can you
on
send
that
it to
thing.
me?
I'll send you pictures later.
Send me.
I am the dorkiest of the. I have a Muppet that looks like me because I love Disney's Muppets. I have a stop motion puppet that looks like me because I love Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas. Where do I go from here? Like, how do I express my Disney affiliation more? All I need is like a Disney animator to draw me, and then it's like finalized. Get someone like Glenn Keane or something to do it. Yeah, there you go. Kingdom Hearts. That's a game
Kingdom
series.
Hearts.
I feel like a sin that I haven't played, considering my love for
No,
Disney.
seriously, you've got to check it out. I can't recommend it. I know loads of people are like, "Oh, it's so dumb." It is dumb, but look past the dumbness.
Well, I mean,
and
like
it's-
Final Fantasy was kind of dumb to begin with, anyway. But I mean, okay, I like the seventh one. I don't really care for the ones afterwards, but it was a
Yeah.
dumb subject to be. It was a dumb series, but it was fun.
It was, yeah, that's all it is. But yeah, other games I grew up. Obviously, Metal Gear Solid. Obviously, that's been a huge part of my life. All the games have been.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe Snake Eater is a favorite.
It's the all-time favorite game.
I
Snake
think that
Eater
seems
is
to be like everyone's. That was the first Metal Gear game I ever played.
my. Oh my no, my order was so Metal Gear Solid 1. Or was it? No, yeah, it was 1, 4, 2, 3, Peace Walker, and then like all the other Rising. I played a demo for, and I thought, no, this isn't Metal Gear. Go away. And like obviously, like Ground Zeroes, all of that. Oh, I love it. But Snake Eater is my #1 game of all time.
I remember because I had a neighbor who had, at the time, it was like this new game, and he played it, and I thought to myself, what is this, James Bond? Because the theme song was the first thing that I walked into, which is an awesome theme song, and I just, because I played it on occasion with him, but I was more interested in watching him play it, because I think there's a testament to a good game is when you can just watch someone play it as if you're watching a film.
Yeah.
Because Uncharted had that same effect on me, which I've never finished all the games, but I've always loved watching people, like friends, play them. It's like watching a movie. And Gun was another game that had a similar effect with me, is that I used to watch my brother play it, but I never really played it until just recently when I have an Xbox 360, which is my most recent console. That's how out of touch I am in the gaming community. I have to watch people like you and Caddy and everyone else to get in touch of what's hip, because I'm terrible at this. Everything else
Don't
is
worry.
emulated.
The only consoles I have in my room at the moment are, well, the ones I'm looking at are a Wii and a PS3, like that aren't handheld, because my brother took all of the other bloody stuff.
That bastard. He took
The
it all.
bastard. He paid for it all and he took it away. How
Yes.
dare he?
I mean, like, the biggest, like, it, with me, my favorite game is always a bit, I think a bizarre choice for a lot of people is that my favorite game, whenever I say to people, is, it's always a toss-up between one or the other. Each one could get a #1 spot. It's either Conker's Bad Fur Day or Oddworld Abe's Exodus. Those two would be
Oh.
in my top two. But they always are interchangeable for the #1 spot.
Oh no, yeah, I grew up with those as well. They're a huge part of my life as well. Like when we and James went to Oddworld Inhabitants, when he had an interview with them and he invited me to come along, that was the best day of my life.
Best brother ever.
It
Get
was
him
like
a
2
mug
days-
that says that. Best brother ever, and on the other side it
best
says,
brother
I'm-
ever
I
because
met
Lord Lanning.
Lord, what is it he calls him? Luxurious something, Lord Lanning.
The unlimited and lordly luscious Lord Lanning, something like that.
Caddy and his tongue twisters. But there you go. Conker's Bad. See, it just shows how, no pun intended, odd I am that my favorite games are Conker and Oddworld, and everyone else is like, oh, Metal Gear, and I think some people say like Mario and stuff. Like I like the dark humor. It's what made
Yeah.
me me. Plus
I've always
English
been,
humor.
yeah, like Oddworld, Metal Gear, Kingdom, like all of it, Sly Cooper.
So I never played those games. I had to see Caddy's video on that because I was so unfamiliar with that franchise. I'm such an out-of-touch bastard when it comes to video games. But to be fair,
Do you
I never
even
could
know what a video game is?
I don't. Is it some kind of Blu-ray disc?
No, it's a video player.
Ah, okay. I think the biggest problem is like because the PlayStation 1's the only PlayStation console I ever actively played. The generations after that, I never owned one myself because we just couldn't afford them when I was a kid. You know, I don't know if it's the same with most people, is that you could only, when I was a kid, you could only afford like one console for like maybe 2 or 3 years.
No, yeah, that was the same with us. We only had the PlayStation 1, and then when we got the PlayStation 2 when it came out, we were like, oh my god, another console!
A rare achievement. Like the last game console I ever owned that belonged to me was a GameCube, and that was to replace an N64. I'm a Nintendo guy, but I like all the systems really. But Nintendo will always have a special place in my organs.
Special place in your organ.
Exactly. But you do video game reviews, which goes on to the next thing. We've been talking about games you love, games you appreciate, which is what's great about people like Caddy, for example, is that he doesn't exclusively review bad games. Like there's a lot of this with YouTubers. I mean, there are exceptions, of course, but some people like to focus on the really bad things because, like many say, it works better for comedy. But in you and Caddy's case, you don't actually review a lot of bad games. You review good games too, and give them.
I haven't reviewed a bad game yet, and I thought, oh my god.
Well, you really implied one.
I did, and I've got to start planning that one.
That'll be loads of fun. But I think that goes into how do you go about choosing what game you want to make the subject of a video?
The way I actually pick the video, what I do is, in terms of my juicelets or my reviews?
Any in particular.
Any in particular. Okay, I play a game, and if I think I can talk about it, I talk about it. I mean, so with the Loco Roco, I talked about that because my friend gave me his PSP for Christmas, and I've kept all, because I had a PSP and then I broke it at McDonald's.
I'd love to know the story behind that.
How I
throw it in a deep fryer or something?
No, it's not like all I had was because I used to have all my music on my PSP, and so I put my my headphones were in it, and I put my PSP in my bag. I put my bag on the floor, and then when I was tucking my chair in to eat, it went boom right on the PSP, like the chair leg.
Oh.
And the headphone cable went straight in. It messed up everything inside the PSP, and it was just I just completely wrecked it.
And this is why the PSP was a failure. I had a brother who was obsessed with getting one, that he saved up so much money, and to surprise him, my parents had went out and bought it with the money he had earned, and they put it, kid you not, they put it in a cereal box so that when he had his breakfast it fell out. So, but knowing how faulty that device was, that probably wasn't a good idea.
Please tell me he's the type of person who puts milk in the bowl at first and then the cereal.
No,
because that would have been hilarious.
Puts the cereal in. Yeah, that would have been. I don't know many people that do that, but yeah, that would have been they know that's what he does. That would have been or if he just started that very day. I'm gonna start putting the milk in first.
You know what? I'm gonna try like a new flavor, and it's just like milk.
Milksicles with the PSP. I think that thing only lasted like and like its lifespan was only like a year for his. Everything like the joy. People are complaining like, oh, the 3DS when you play Smash Bros. The joystick pops off. The PSP, once that thing was off, that thing was junk.
Yeah, that thing was gone. Like, so when I got my friend's PSP, I was like, I can replay all these games again. And I thought I'll play my favorite title, which was Loco Roco, when I got my PSP. And I thought, how's no one talked about this? I've got to talk about that's it. I've got to talk. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to do a script. That's it. I'm off. And the next thing I knew, I was writing a script for it.
And I think it's a very funny, and I've never even heard of the game, so it was very, very informative. But that's what I like about most video game movie critics, is that they talk about things, for the most part, I've never even heard of. Like, you know, if it weren't for Caddy, I wouldn't know about the wonders of Dalmatians 3.
Oh god, don't even get me started on that blooming game.
I find that whole history of that company fascinating, because like bootlegging's a problem here as well, but that was just astronomically amazing.
Oh no, like I had no idea anything like that could even be born. And like, oh god, I remember the day we first played. Well, I'd say play with like the twitchy finger thing.
Yeah, very big quotation marks play.
Yeah, played. I remember when we first played that game, and my God, I genuinely had a headache after it.
Well, according to that video, like it seemed to like almost destroy the PlayStation with how much friggin' life support it needed, burning the thing up.
It was it was genuinely terrifying. Like the PlayStation was really hot, and we were like, "What is that noise?" And we thought we genuinely broke it. We were like, "Oh my God!"
Like the whole thing just explodes. How dare you play
like,
Dalmatians 3 in my system?
Phoenix is not for the PlayStation.
So there you go. It's pretty simple when you go about choosing what to discuss in a video, I'd say.
Oh yeah, and like with my juicelets as well, like I get those ideas when I'm playing a game. So with my Bayonetta one, I got that idea when I was playing Bayonetta, and I was there thinking, because like you know how Bayonetta's like this, like Lara Croft, they're like, oh, she's just a sex symbol.
Yeah.
I was there thinking, what do I have in common with Bayonetta? And I was like, well, we both like lollipops. So I was like, I'm just gonna joke about with this because I wanted to show like the non-sexual side to Bayonetta, so that's what I did.
There you go. Well, I mean, I this is how out of touch I am. I know the character. I know of the games because I have a friend who played the sequel recently because he got a Wii U. English man, a friend I've known for about almost 9 years. Will Ryan is his name. He runs DA Games. Let's Play channel.
Oh, nice.
Everyone should check out. He actually just surpassed 22,000 subscribers. Yes, a little congratulations from Rosie in England. So his
Congratulations.
native land. So everyone check him out. He's the guy who makes my theme song. Yeah, I knew very little about it except that people say they're great games. So I'll check them out when I get the systems to play them, but I'll take their like that's my biggest problem with trying to catch up with games is that I just can't afford the systems that they're on. So I have like I have some if they have a PC equivalent, I can certainly get those. Like I only just recently played Bioshock Infinite for the first time this year. I never played them. I never played those games, and they were through the insistence of a friend of mine that you have to play this game. No, but I don't have the console. No, it has a PC. I'll get you I'll get you. It just got the whole thing. Boy, am I glad he did that. That was an amazing game.
It's so amazing. I remember when I first played it, and I was like, oh my God.
See, I actually didn't care for the first game very much, so I was skeptical about checking it out. He, of course, kept saying, don't play the second one. Go directly to Infinite, skip the second one. And I don't know, I didn't really like the first game that much. It kind of dragged at the end. Yeah, but the last game is great. You gotta play it. He was right.
It was like the first game, when I first played it, it terrified me. Like it, I was so scared of it, and I played it, and I thought the first one was amazing. Second one, I played half of, and I was like, I'm really not feeling this one.
I think because wasn't that one not with the original creator involved?
I'm not sure, actually. I just think that, for me, no, yeah, I think they did pass it on to someone else. I think I remember that.
That's what I remember reading. It's like, that makes sense why people don't like it. That's kind of how that works.
Give it to someone else, boom, it's ruined.
Well, I mean, it depends. But for the most part, that tends to be the case when something's inferior. Is that they handed it to some dope. So take that for what you will, everyone listening who wants to get into the video game criticism world on YouTube. I think Rosie's given some really good tips, which is enjoy what you're doing, for one thing. That's the most important thing. You gotta love what you're doing. Don't go into it with success, because with the popularity that her brother has, she could get success very easily, but she has integrity, I would say.
I don't aim to get. I know what loads of people have commented on my videos. Like, oh my God, someone made me and Liam were talking about this because I work with him as well, and we were talking about it, and we were just like, God, that's like, because this guy literally wrote, 90% of your audience are all from your brother. I feel sorry for you, and I was like, whoa, bombshell. And then me and Liam, bastard. So then all day we were all just like, nah, I don't. Like if I like got a pencil or something and gave it to someone, then Liam would just be like, nah, they only want that because 90% of that pen has actually been touched by your brother or something. And I was like, oh my God, this is gonna go on forever. But I know, like, I think it's unfair because I do, like, I hate to say it, but people do I have an advantage. Like, I have a brother who's big in the industry, and I've been in his videos before I even did this. But then again, like, people wanted me to do my own stuff. Like, I had so many requests on, like, Twitter and on his YouTube comments saying, oh, has your sister got her own channel? Is she going to do her own stuff? So yeah, that was another reason why I started this channel anyway.
Well, I think it because for the forward thinkers, it was more of the because she's Caddy's sister. For me, it was more like, well, she's such a great personality. I'd love to see her do her own thing. If anything, Professor Juice is more of a spin-off of the Caddicarus show.
It probably is, honestly. I mean, I know people can't help it because we're siblings, and like I have no idea what my brother's comedic style is. Like, there are some people who I think really, like John Tron, PBG, they're really strong comedic styles, but I just think it's because me and James grew up, like, I don't know how, but we seem to have the same comedic approach to things, I think, because everyone's telling me, oh, you're so much like your brother, and I'm like, I don't mean to be, I'm really sorry.
Influences all around. Like, I've been compared to people where I was like, I wasn't even going for that, so thanks for the compliment. Like, I've been constantly compared to, like, Conan O'Brien, for one, and to me it's like, whoa, I don't think I'm nearly as good as Conan O'Brien, but thank you for that compliment. Or, oh, you're like the Nostalgia Critic, except you don't swear as much. Is that a positive or a negative? I mean, I'm capable of swearing. I just don't think it's appropriate when I'm reviewing something that's for kids, because kids are gonna watch it. If I'm gonna review My Little Pony or Disney, I should probably keep my language G-rated.
Don't. Someone said that to me. No, because someone who I work with called Jeff, he came up because he's got 2 younger kids, and he wanted to watch my stuff because he knows that it's got people who he knows in it. Yeah. And I said bastard in the Bayonetta video, I think I said, and he went, and I wasn't expecting you to say that, and my daughter heard it, and she asked me what it was, and I just said, don't worry about it, honey. And I was like, oh no.
Well, I mean, Bayonetta the game is not really for children, so I don't see why.
What do you mean? It touches... Yeah. They have kiddie toys made for it and everything.
Of course they do. In Japan.
Rated U. Yeah, in Japan.
Rated. Over here it's G. I gotta remember that. That's right. U is the universal rated in England. Over here it's G.
G.
Because I guess that's weird. I don't know. So I just realized, like, when I said G rated, does she know what I mean?
I was thinking you meant like PG, because that's the
yeah, you do have PG. We have PG here as well, but yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, U is their G equivalent. Yeah, here we have general audience, which is G, and you have U.
I don't know what... I can't remember what I used to know, but I can't remember. It's a green triangle with a U in it.
I would know because I actually have, like, imports from England that have those ratings right on the side, so I can't forget the rating system, like the 15, and I think the 18 is another one. Yeah, I've got an 18 Blu-ray. Yeah. I have Blu-rays for the UK because I'm weird. Also because I have fans in England who like to send things and have me talk about them.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice to have fans. I'm sure you have. You've already surpassed 2,700, I think, right now. 2,777 is your current.
I'm coming up to 2.8. Yeah, I'm coming up to 2,800, which I think's absolute crazy. Also, I'm going to take the time, like, if people are watching this, like, seriously, you guys have been amazing. I did not expect any of this to happen. I mean, when I did my cheap rap video, I already had like 100 or so subscribers, and then that got me a little boost. But the cheesiest, my top 10 cheesy, when like because my brother, he shared it on his Facebook page, and I had no idea he was going to do it. Like, this is I did not ask him to do that or anything, he just did it. And then there was just a I got like 1,500 overnight subscribers, and it was really pressurizing. I mean, because then I felt as if, oh my god, I've got so many new, like, people have put so much faith in me. I've only done like 4 videos and I'm already on 2,000 subscribers. Oh my god, people are really entrusting me. I've got to please them. And I think that's why I feel so nervous when I upload a video, because I'm like, is it good enough? I mean, like, because for example, there's someone who's really great on YouTube, Lucy Hale. She's called Hale Fail on YouTube. Everyone should go watch her. And we're on about the same subs. And she has done so many more reviews, so many more videos, so many vloggy type things. And then I'm there with my 7 videos. And I'm just like,
well, everyone's got to start somewhere. It's, some people are lucky enough to have overnight fans.
Like, oh, it was just crazy. I remember when I did it and I ran like all around my house going, man, oh my god. And she didn't know what it meant. But I was just...
I wish I could be proud of you, but I don't understand what that means.
She was like, yeah, I'm really happy for you. Well done. And then she told James because she knew James understood. And he was like, yeah, I know all this. So he's like, I'm really happy for her. My mum was like, what does it mean?
That's just wonderful. But for everyone who is listening who isn't aware that Caddicarus' sister, Rosie / Professor Juice, whatever you want to call her, does have a YouTube channel, please subscribe to her, because for someone who's just basically started out, she's doing very well, both in the subscriber range and quality content. I'd say she's funny, like you'd expect from the cameo she had in Caddy's videos. They're very good reviews. I recommend the Loco Roco one, the most recent one, if you're just getting into her. And her channel will be in the description, or if you're lazy, you just want to type it in. I'm probably going to remember this wrong. If I'm not correct, it's YouTube / a weirdo on your screen.
No, it's Professor Juice. Does it say a weirdo on your screen? Because it's meant to say Professor Juice.
Well, Professor Juice is what you renamed it, but the URL itself, I believe, is a
Is
weirdo
it
on your
really?
screen. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You can look
Okay,
up Professor Juice in the search bar if that suits you as well, people. You'll find it easy.
Oh my god, that name's so embarrassing. I did that account because when James first started, he said, oh, I need you to subscribe to me and like all my videos. So I made that account when I was like really young. And
Abusing
I just,
a sibling for self-gain.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to be a weirdo on your screen. And then when I started Professor Juice, I thought, oh my god, that name is seriously lame.
It's a silly name, but it suits you. I mean, Professor Juice is equally as silly, but yeah, who knows? I mean, it's John Tron's show instead of John Tron. Can't take what you can get.
Take what you can get. Oh my god, I can't believe that.
I mean,
name
I'm
is on
Aficionados
stuff.
Chris, but my URL is the Aficionados 2010 because Aficionados was taken. And it was 2010 when I made the account. It's like, well, it's the only one available. So everyone at least, I think everyone at some point regrets their URL username.
Oh my god, I massively. It's the thing. It's so long as well. A weirdo on your screen. It's so what I bet I spelt something wrong because I still am a terrible speller sometimes.
Well, you spelled
So
Professor Juice correctly, so there you go.
Yeah, well done. I remember when I first did it, I kept on putting like double F, and I was like, no, it's one F for Professor.
I have that same problem, actually. Trying to search for you, I keep doing the
isn't it?
double F. It's, oh, crap, yeah, it's one F.
It's
Although
one
it
F,
sounds
oh my
like it has two Fs in there. Professor.
Professor.
There we go. It's getting silly in here. Yes, go subscribe to Rosie Caddick's channel. She's wonderful. If you loved her in Caddy's videos, you'll certainly love her own series. Basically, like I said, think of it as a spin-off of the Caddicarus show. If you like Caddicarus, you'll love Rosie Caddick stuff, aka Professor Juice. And outside of that, I think that's all there is. Is there anything you'd like to address to anyone that happens to be on your mind?
What? Just in generally, or
Of course,
question
yeah.
related?
Whatever pops into your head. Any kind of advice, wonderful thanks, or whatever who might be listening, what you'd love to say to the audience.
Wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh dear, I put her on the spot.
Put me on the spot. You got me thinking again. What's a thought?
Oh dear.
Okay. I'm going to say, well, like I said before, thank you guys so much for all the support you've given me. I mean, I've only just started and I'm still with my Loco Roco video, I experimented so much with that in terms of comedy stuff, like editing stuff. So I'm still playing around with things. I still feel as if I'm in my prototype stages. And you guys have given me such great critical feedback on how to improve, how to fix my things, what to do, what I can improve on, and you guys have not been horrible at all. You've all been absolutely lovely and amazing and so supportive, and I couldn't ask for a better. I feel bad calling you a fan base because I've never had fans before, but but I feel so honored to have you guys supporting me and subscribing to me and sharing my videos. I mean, oh my god, even talking about it, it's crazy. I never expected it to be like this so soon. But yeah, no, thank you all so much. And also I just want to say thank you, because I don't think these guys get enough credit, but thank you to Liam, Andy and Lucy. I always say thank you to them in all my videos, but no one ever actually says, oh, they did a good job. but those guys, they haven't, like, they had no media experience or anything, and I, like, no acting lessons, nothing like that. I know our acting's really cheesy, but we just have fun with it. But, like, seriously, those guys were amazing, and they always let me go to their house to film things, and they let me, like, direct them around, and they are just amazing people. Great fun to be with, great fun to work with, and just amazing people. So I'm going to say thank you to those guys as well, because I don't think they get enough praise that they should. Also, thank you, if my brother is by any chance watching this, he probably wouldn't, because he's a very busy man. So I'll shove it down his, like, I'll just shove this in his face and be like, look, I did a thing!
And then he'll be like, blast, I want to be on this guy's show.
He'll be like, now I have to talk to everybody. He'll probably be much more interesting. But yeah, no, and then James, he's helped me out so much, like, not in terms of, but what he's done, like, he's helped set me up with my editing and Sony Vegas, things like that, like getting my videos to look nicer and a better quality. He's sent me some of his effects that I have to try out, like smoke and explosions and this, that, and the other. So I'll try and do that in my next review or list or whatever I do. And also, he's just super supportive. My whole family, everyone's really supportive, and all my friends are. Apart from one who dislikes all of my videos just because he feels like being a jerk. But no, all my, like, and everyone's just being so amazing at the moment, and I have no idea where this is going to go. I mean, right now I'm on the path of deciding whether I go to university or sticking, because I've just got a full-time job in video editing.
Ooh.
So, I know. It's only for sales, but still, it's a start. So,
yeah, let's start somewhere.
And, like, right now I'm thinking, do I go to uni and then do, like, all this media work, or do I stick with this job? And I'm always like, where's Professor Juice going to go? Because, like, I have no idea how Professor Juice is going to do. I think I'm always thinking about Professor Juice, the channel, bless it. And, like, but you guys have all just been absolutely amazing. And also, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on this interview. I mean, like I said, when we were emailing, I was like, this has never happened to me before.
Well, I'm glad I could be the first.
And, like, I remember my brother when he was first getting, like, TGS podcasts and things like that. And I was always just super jealous. I was like, I want to talk to these people. I want to do this stuff.
I want to be important in an interview.
I want to ask questions. So thank you for giving me this chance, because I've had a great time. I've probably bored you shitless, but...
Oh, nah. Love hearing from people on the other side.
I got friends on the other side. Well, anything else I want to say? So I said my thanks. Oh, advice. Really, my main bit of advice is what I say in all my videos, or what I try to get across, is have fun. If you don't have fun making what you do, then your audience won't have fun. I mean, I don't take my channel seriously. I'm always taking the mick out of myself. I'm always taking the mick out of everything. So as long as you feel comfortable and having fun, just do whatever your heart tells you. I mean, I've got a friend at the moment who's talking to me because he's trying to do an opening for his channel that he's just kicking off, and he's always like, oh, I never get it right, and I'm just like, and then I recommended to him, like, so if you are, like, self-conscious about talking, like, to a camera or anything, I always do it when I'm home alone, because that way I know that I'm not disturbing anyone, and I can be as big of an idiot as I want.
And as loud as you want.
And as loud as I want, and I can do all sorts of crazy stuff. So whatever suits your, like, home needs, personal needs, confidence-wise, just go with whatever suits you best. It can be the weirdest thing ever, like you could lock yourself in a cupboard and then talk, but if that suits you and that gets your voice across, then do it. You go do that. It's great. Have a blast with it. But I can't emphasize enough, just have fun with it. Just love what you're doing, and hopefully others will love it back. And I know everyone says this, but don't go into YouTube thinking you'll get something out of it. I mean, I know a lot of people are telling me, oh, you're already going to be as big as your brother, but, like, if I did get that now, it would be absolutely amazing, but also I feel as if it would be super pressurizing, because I'm still only learning. So, and, like, right now, I'm just happy being my little, yay! And, like, I didn't even expect to get this far before, like, when I first started at this stage. So just go into it thinking, yeah, I just want to entertain people, and you will entertain. I think that's my biggest advice I can give.
I think it's a very sound advice that everyone listening should take into account when you consider doing that.
Everyone take notes.
Everyone, you'll be graded at the end of the interview. So, thank you all for listening, and thanks to Rosie for being a guest. It was fun getting to know Rosie Caddick, and like I said before, check out her channel. It's in the description. And for the rest of you, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure it's a good one.
Thank you very much, everyone. You've all got the juice.
Aficionados, Chris was your host for tonight. This is the sign off where we say goodnight. If you enjoyed it, then please like and share. This was a podcast which he likes to call. Hey, hey.